Hi, and yeah, big congratulations for your offers received. You were
Thank you.
successful with both MBB firms actually that you
Yeah.
interviewed with, right? First with Bain and Company, and then also with McKinsey. So let's maybe start actually with the moment where everything changed, right? How did it feel for you when you got the call and yeah, you heard that they are excited to offer you the position?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite an amazing feeling. Obviously, I was very happy, but
Yes.
also it was just a huge weight off my shoulders. The stress of
Yeah.
waiting for the call
Yeah.
and knowing it was like months of preparation all in this
Yeah.
one call, and then to have all the pressure removed was
Yes.
quite amazing. Yeah.
Yes, can imagine, right? So maybe then let's jump right to the beginning, right? So take me back to that situation. What was actually your situation before you joined our coaching program, right? So what were you fighting with, wrestling with
Mm.
at that time?
Yeah, no, great question. So I actually came to the program with almost no knowledge of
Mm,
cases. I
mm,
just bought Case in Point and kind of looked through it a little bit.
mm.
Um, and I think I was really struggling with just knowing where to start. Like you you
Yeah,
Google and there are 100,000 different people telling you to do different things. I
yeah, yeah,
think yeah, that's why I came to the platform. I think just knowing what you even have to do is is half the challenge.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So
so
finding sort of a proven path that you can then just follow, right?
yeah, exactly. Just knowing, okay, I have to do these things.
Mm.
I'm happy to do the work, but
Yep.
I know that if I do those things, I'll maximize my chances.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So, and what was it then now when we speak about, us specifically, the MBB Offer Machine, right? So what made
Mhm.
you actually say, okay, I need to do this right, right? And these are the people that I trust to get me over the line. So, what was it?
Yeah, no, I actually stumbled across you guys through just a Google advertisement, I think, at the
Yeah,
top of the page, and
yeah,
I looked on your on like the I think it's Trustpilot, the like
yeah,
independent reviews.
yes.
And I think I was just quite surprised. Originally, I was a bit skeptical, but all the reviews were really positive.
Mm,
Um, and I think, given that, and then, looking at your guys' experience, right, as well, that you were interviewers, that you have a lot of experience at MBB yourselves. I
mm,
think I kind of decided that, you want to do it right. It's a small investment in the
mm.
scheme of my entire career.
Yeah.
Um, and given those reviews, given your experience, I thought that it would maximize my chances of getting an offer.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, sounds good. Now, speaking about a little bit once we then got started together, right? So what were actually the biggest shifts for you once we had started with the program? Because we went through many structured milestones together, right? So we
Mm,
crafting the CV into an MBB ready style, right? Then learning in general through all these detailed video lessons, the continuous personal mentor coaching sessions, then the peer practicing that is also possible
mm,
with other successful mentees here in the program. Now, how did all of these elements help you in building clarity and then also confidence?
yeah, I think um, I mean all these elements really go hand in hand, and it is a bit of a journey going through the process, right? Like at the start, I started to build confidence. The CV
Yep.
kind of sessions, as you said, it started helping me think about what are these firms looking for. It really helped to get me talking to people, like coffee chats, finding referrals, and
Mm.
then I had obviously the mentoring sessions, the case sessions. My first one went quite badly, so that was a bit of a like
Yeah.
a roller coaster.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
but I mean, this is very normal, right? So you always have this almost
yeah,
natural curve, right? So at the
yeah,
beginning, like,
exactly,
okay, let me see how this is. Then,
yeah,
you have some early overconfidence, right? Typically
yeah,
before the first coaching session, when you think like, oh wow, yeah, this is very logical, right? Yes, I think I got
yeah,
this, and then you do the first coaching session, and yeah, then things get calibrated a little bit.
yeah, exactly. And then you go straight back to the bottom.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think having these calibration sessions and being able to, because if you just practice with your peers, it's really hard to calibrate how am I actually performing
Yeah.
relative to an interview standard. And
Yeah.
having these sessions where you have honest feedback, they even told me like, is it a pass? Is it a not? Is it not
Yeah.
in the interview?
Yeah.
Um, I think that really helped, and then slowly building back up to the
Yes.
confidence level I was at the start.
Yes, 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 yes. And
Yeah.
that's really a very good point. And maybe let's expand a little bit on this, right?
Mm.
If you honestly look back, right, from also from an emotional standpoint, right? So were there moments where you actually felt a bit stuck, frustrated, or unsure whether this whole thing would actually work?
Yeah, there are definitely a few moments. I think at one stage, I mean, you have to do all this preparation before even getting an interview
Mhm.
invite, right?
Yes.
So there are a few stages where I was thinking like, what if I don't even get an interview? I don't even get to apply any of these skills. But I
Yeah.
think, I mean, that's the nature of it. You have to you have to put in the work. You don't want to get an interview and be
Yeah.
unprepared.
Yes.
And yeah, I think, it actually the system with the peer coaching really helped me stay motivated during that time because even if I was getting a bit less motivated, I had people reaching out to me like, "Do you want to do a case?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
as well."
Yes.
Um, so I think that system and just being able to work through the modules kind of helped to combat that and
Yeah.
yeah, keep
Yeah.
me
But that's
motivated
that's
throughout.
that's a very good point that you mentioned, right? Because exactly that trade-off between will I get an
Yeah,
interview invite and at the same time get you need to get going, right? You cannot just
yeah,
wait until you have the conversation for the interview, because then getting the interview was for nothing because then you
yeah,
don't have enough time to prepare for
exactly.
the interview. Right, so that's exactly the trade-off that many people face. And what I always say is, um, if this is really your goal, right? If you say, yes, I want to break into one of these companies, right, then you need
Mm,
to get going. You need to start preparing. The worst thing that can happen is, okay, you don't get
yeah,
an interview invite for these applications that you send out. But then, okay, then you just need to continue, right? If this
yeah,
is your goal, right, then you need to maybe take an intermediate step or anything. But
yeah.
starting to prepare is never wasted, right? Because at the end of the day, if this is your career goal, you will need these skills no matter what, right?
Yeah, and I think in my experience these skills are very useful even outside of the interviews.
Yeah.
In any interview and even I found in some of the, my roles at the moment, part-time, just
Yeah.
the way of breaking down problems has been like quite useful in, being able to structure problems.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
That's another very important point, right? So that what you've learned here, right? I mean, this was not some whatever, right? Some dirty trick to get you into Bain or into McKinsey, right? No, not at all. This is essentially the toolkit that also then later on, right? No matter which of the two you will now sign with, right?
yeah,
You will use this in your day-to-day client work, right? And this also means that in any context where you are solving problems, especially where there is an element of ambiguity, right? In any of these contexts, what you're learning here, this skill is massively beneficial, right? So this is also completely independent on whether it's consulting or even whether it's
yeah,
business, right? Because these are general principles that are also valid outside of business, right? Very, very good
yeah,
point.
agreed. Yeah.
Cool. Um, Now, if you could now just speak to a past version of yourself, right? The guy that is maybe unsure about, should I really invest into
Mm.
coaching, right? Into top class coaching, and who's maybe also hoping he can figure it out alone, right? So, what would you say if you could speak to this person?
Yeah, great question. I mean, I guess I'd say like yeah, it is possible to kind of get in without the platform. And many people do that. But I think if for me, I was very serious about getting in, and if I want to maximize my chances, if it's really my goal, it's going to shape the whole trajectory of my career.
Yes.
I think having this proven path of you, as you said, where I have everything in front of me, I just need to do it. I know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Kind of removing that ambiguity.
Yeah.
Um, knowing that in the context of yeah, you have to pay a bit, but in the context of my entire career, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So
Even
I
in the
think if
context of the offers that you received now, right? I mean,
yeah, Yeah, that's true. So I mean, if I was really serious, which I was, I think
Mm.
it's worth maximizing your chances and not doing a half job
Yep.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your perspective, right? Sharing your story. Yeah, I told you already, right? So I'm also super happy with the outcome here, right? And I'm convinced, right? No matter what firm you're now going to decide for, right? So I think this is just the start of an amazing career, right? So all the best. And
Thank you.
the one tip that I want to give you
Mm.
before you start, right? You should absolutely make sure that you do a long, vacation, a long holiday, right?
Yeah.
That you can really decompress, relax, so that you start really fresh and with full force.
Yeah, great advice. I'm taking 6 months off, so no
All right.
worries.
Thank you. All the best. Cheers.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye.